Here's Don and Gino.
Winning in every market. It's funny, when Don and I talked about that a couple of years ago when we put together that little slogan, it's really important. I didn't realize how important it would be long term, but in this market, you really need to be having a great support team in order to win. It's a challenging market, and you need some good guidance, and I know you can get good guidance from the team I have here today. Joining me today in lieu of Don Getling is Dennis Kotzman with Cherry Creek Mortgage. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, and I would say, yeah, you know what? We got to go out and just win the day, every day.
Yeah, and that's with anything, right? That's not just in real estate or, pretty much no matter what. I mean, that's if you have a winning attitude and a team attitude, and I know that Troop Real Estate as well as Cherry Creek Mortgage has that team feel.
Team feel all the way. I know from experience from working with my Troop Realtors over the last couple of years that, yeah, it's all about that relationship, all about working as a team, all about knowing personalities even. Because some of these personalities are going to be different. Your client personalities are always going to be different.
Very different.
And, we kind of adapt and move forward, right? Yeah. Make the transaction happen.
Well, and that's the team aspect, right? Because I know that there's sometimes we've gone over the years, there's many times where I'm speaking to one of my borrowers and I could maybe feel like it's not a good fit for me, and I'll have Don talk to him or I'll have Dennis talk to him. And it's not because we're going to say anything different, it's because we have a different way of communicating. And sometimes that's what's important is how we all communicate with each other.
I would say without a doubt, and I'll say for me personally, I know my style is different. My style is probably different from 90% of the loan officers out there because I feel like that's part of my comfort zone. It's part of my background. It's part of what makes me me. So, yeah, I think it's going to happen. You're always going to have maybe that mismatch once in a while.
Yeah, in fact, so what Dennis is alluding to is because he tells you the truth, he doesn't sugarcoat it at all.
Yeah, that's the truth. And it's true. I've had many dealings with Dennis and see him work with my realtors, and I have had Dennis many times come to me, actually walk into my office, knock on the door, can I come in, need to talk to you. This realtor is having an issue with this client, and I'm just telling you this is the way it is, and we need to find a way to bring him to reality because we're not going to stretch the truth. And it's a great environment to have when you can actually put 100% of your trust into somebody, and that's how you earn it. You earn that trust pragmatically through that constant level of not just expertise and advice, but always being able to, it's not about the money, it's about the people.
So it is always about the people at Troop Real Estate. I know it's a family type run organization. So tell us a little bit about Troop Real Estate and how it differs from other real estate companies here in town.
It's so funny. I would love to. I'm so excited. I wake up every day truly, and I'm blessed every day to go to Troop Real Estate and to manage this team out here. We have incredible leadership. I come out of a corporate environment. I grew up for 15 years in Lennox Corporation, a Fortune 500 air conditioning manufacturer, East Coast based, very, very just conservative and just a great company. But when I got into real estate, I was like in shock. It's just like, well, real estate's done a little bit differently. And I always wanted to have a real estate company that those words, honesty, integrity, and ethics, had meaning to them. And I found it. This is what I found. And it's not that other real estate brokerages are bad. They're not. People work very hard. Every broker I know in Santa Clarita are good people, and they're doing their best, and they work hard. All what I'm saying is with Troop Real Estate, I have 27 years of independent-owned brokerage where Brian Troop's name is on everything. So it's a little bit easier if you stretch the truth or something happens or it doesn't happen or something went south when it's XYZ Realtor, because they're nationwide, and who do you blame? XYZ Realtor. We all know that you just need to walk to a little bit of higher standard and look at the client. It's always about the client, just like you said. And I talk about that all the time with my people. How many times do you hear in an ad, in a radio ad, or you see a newspaper ad or whatever, and it says, I sold I. It's like that Toby Keith song. It's like it, you know. It's
Let's talk about me.
yeah. It's just, it's not about the realtor, and we know that at Troop Real Estate. It's truly about the client and supplying them a true fiduciary and finding out what's in that client's best interest and working 100% of the time for that client.
Yeah, I hope you can hear the sincerity in Paul's voice, because that's something that's I'm not going to say unique, because like you said, there's so many in our industry and everybody works really, really hard.
Sure.
But you can hear that you have a sincere passion for what you do and a true love. And I really do feel that all the people that I've encountered at Troop Real Estate, and Dennis, you could speak to this because you're very close to them.
I am.
They just kind of carry that culture through, right?
Well, I think there's a lot of comfort in having that complete transparency. Because, let's face it, if you're bending the truth here and you're bending the truth there a little bit, then you kind of get caught up in that vicious circle. If you're completely transparent and honest and open and forthright, there's no issues.
Yeah, it kind of actually makes things a little easier,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It does, and sometimes the truth does hurt. You don't want to hear it, but I'd rather tell you the truth now than 30 days into your transaction.
Yeah, in fact, I hate to make this comparison, but it was Paul was speaking. I remember I made a trip to Argentina, and this was probably about 10 years ago, and I went to a small vineyard, a very small vineyard in Mendoza, and the guy who was there was the owner, and it was his own little vineyard, and he had his own little wine shop, and he's taking us through and making us taste different wines, and then I said, "What's that over there?" And he goes, "Oh, those are some wines I'm going to sell to a different brand." And I go, "Well, why? They're from your vineyard." He says, "They weren't good enough to put my name on it."
Yeah, it means a lot.
No, wait a minute. Can we back up on that? Did he say he made you taste wines?
Why are you picking on my words, Dennis? I told you he was honest.
Yeah, you made me.
Yeah, he
That's
twisted
right.
my arm a little bit. But that's kind of what resonates is when you put your name on something, it does make you to a higher standard have to live to what that standard is, and I think that everyone at Troop Real Estate respects that, and they're at Troop Real Estate because they recognize that. So I think it's something important.
Yeah, it was just exciting. It was an exciting opportunity to be presented to me about 4 years ago when Brian talked me into leaving a good brokerage I've been with for 10 years. It's just been an exciting time. And one of the aspects that we talk about all the time is how do we actually support our clients? As far as that's the homeowner. How do we come to this market and it's not about us? And one of the ways that we do that is Brian's other belief is we're very, very heavily involved in local charities. We feel if we're basically taking out or getting revenue from our community, we need to put that time and effort back into our community. And it kind of stems for it's the good of the all. It's not for us. It's we are Troop. We are the solution. That's our mantra. That's what we live by. That's how we walk our walk that we try to walk. And one of the solutions is working very hard and avidly to create better lives for people that may not be as fortunate as we are, and to spend that time and effort in our community to create better lives. Not in the purchase of homes, but in people that are less fortunate.
If you just tuned in, that's Paul Gonzales with Troop Real Estate, our local branch manager, talking about how their office can impact your lives. And in fact, let's dig into that just a little bit, because I do want to spend the back half of the show on what's happening in the real estate market today. But one of the things you're alluding to is supporting our local charities here in Santa Clarita. There's 126 nonprofits in Santa Clarita, so let me tell you, there's a lot of opportunity. I'd like for you to tell us about some of those opportunities. I know for a fact that we've got our own charity that we've been supporting now for early on in the year. We've got a joint event that you're helping us and that your team is helping us with, and that's the Boot Campaign and Push-Ups for Charity. So we really appreciate Troop Real Estate getting behind us in that and helping our local veterans. And just so you understand the gist of this, and if you'd like to get involved, give us a call at 855-DON-GINO, 855-DONGINO. The idea is that for every $30,000 that we raise, we're going to be able to give a local veteran And someone said this a few weeks ago, was no veteran comes back unwounded. And I thought that was very appropriate.
That's actually right on the mark.
And so we will give a local veteran that hasn't had the support they need when they came back a mortgage-free home for every $30,000 that we raise. And Paul, your team's been instrumental in jumping behind us on this. So tell us a little bit about the team members that have joined us and what they're doing to help us out.
Well, Debbie Briscoe and Charlene Romero are heading up kind of a joint venture, of course, with Cherry Creek. And as we speak today at our office meeting, we had 15 minutes of that office meeting just dedicated to talking about, we saw the video, we saw what it's about, to get the team behind it. It's one thing to talk to somebody about, oh, we're doing this, it's the Boots campaign, it's May 17th, come join us, and then you're done with it. It's another thing when they've taken the time and the effort to really convey the story properly so they understand, and you actually get to see how this impacts, the actual impact for GIs that have come across, and what this has meant to other people in their lives. And when you actually see a wounded warrior talking on the video and actually how it's going to impact them, it brings some validity to it. It's not just a great organization that way smiles and it's like, okay, well, we'll try to do this. It really kind of brings it home. So Debbie and Charlene are putting it together. Now what we're doing as a company, we're going on a march. We are going to take this information, we're going to bring it to the neighborhoods of Santa Clarita. So if you have somebody knock at your door, and they will probably, it's legitimate. We are really avidly one-on-one trying to make an impact with the Boots campaign for May 17th. And we'll talk further about that, but it's simple. You can contribute by dollar, you can do push-ups, you can just come join and be part of the activities at the Afterburn. And we're going to go into the venue and the address in a few minutes.
Yeah, in fact, I will tell you real quick that Dennis Kotzman made a big push last night. He says he's doing some push-ups.
Oh, man, I don't know what I've got myself into here. well, truth be known, I used to be doing push-ups regularly, so this is kind of jump-starting me back into that routine. But I had one vet challenge me, and I don't even know how I'm going to hit this, but he says 100 push-ups for $100.
Wow.
Okay. 100 push-ups, $100, and hopefully $100,000 in your pocket in the real estate market. So stay tuned to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. During the next segment, we will go into what's happening in the real estate market, and you won't have to do push-ups just to hear what's happening, and you will profit if you do. When we get back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.